Dudes, how you doing? Informal video. I am home alone. The missus and the little one have gone to Spain for a week. Yes! Freedom! Sorry, it's just awesome. I've got a week of just being a man again. A man. Sorry, I'm going a little bit. She's only been away for a day. You can see how happy I am. But the bad side is, guys, the good side is when she's gone, everything's tidy. Everything's tidy. Like, I don't have to touch anything. It's all just tidy. You know, even the backyard, everything is nice and it stays tidy, which means I can concentrate on getting shit done without having to worry about tidying up her mess all the time. Anyway, the point of this video, guys, is I got starving hungry and realised there was virtually no food. There was virtually nothing. So I'm trying to kind of make do. Let me just point this thing in here, make sure you can see. So I'm trying to make some food. So I've just been literally down to my local Sainsbury's to get a couple of bits and pieces, but not much. And what I'm doing, you're going to like this, you're going to be impressed. What I'm doing while she's gone is trying to eat healthy, because there's not much in here really. There's not much, is there? Need to get some lagers. And what I'm doing is kebabs. So I've got chicken breasts here, guys, and I make the marinade with yogurt and different spices, some cinnamon, what else is in there? Salt and pepper. I got turmeric in there, I can't remember. I don't think there's any turmeric. Chili powder, paprika, some lemon juice. There's some other bits in there, I can't remember off the top of my head. But normal stuff, you know. Anyway, just left these in here for about 4 hours to marinate. And then I'll go and put them on the sticks. And then over here, I've got a bowl of iceberg lettuce. And the clever thing is you just shred it all up. And just squeeze a lemon juice and salt and lemon juice all over it. In there you can put a little bit of lemon juice and salt. And then this is just green. This is just red cabbage that you get here, and you shred it. And again, put some salt in it and lemon juice. And there's a little bit more. No, that's about right. Maybe a little bit more lemon. And you can see where I'm going with this, guys. That is a mixture of your kebab. And then you can buy pita bread, or these aren't quite as dry, you know, the old Man v Food burritos. And then usually we've always got some of these kicking around. So a couple of chilies in there. In fact, I'll just slice those up and sprinkle those on top. And then for a sauce, I'll use Greek yogurt. And we've got some mint growing outside, so just chop loads of mint in there, and it's not too hot. Or you can use some sort of ginger, some chili sauce, whatever you've got really. And that is really healthy. And also got some lamb there, so these are loin of lamb that I've just sliced, and I'll marinate those and I'll have those tomorrow. So basically for the whole week I'm going to be eating homemade kebabs, which is awesome, but it's actually really healthy, isn't it? So you know, there's no fat or anything, there's no oil. There's a tiny bit of olive oil in this, but you don't want to use too much olive oil, it goes slimy. There's a tiny bit of olive oil in here, but apart from that it's chicken breast. So you know, I need to keep the weight down a little bit. What other updates? I am on nearly, I think I'm nearly 10 days, something like that, 11 days of not smoking, which is phenomenal for me. I've done it before, but I can't remember the last time I'd given up for this long, and it's going really well. You know, I'm eating more, that's the only thing. I'm replacing the cigarettes with food, so I need to up the exercise as well. I went swimming the other day, and I sometimes go swimming. And I was like, compared to how I was before when I smoked, I was like an Olympic swimmer. I can swim up and down all day long without getting still got a bit tired. You know, it's not that great. But for me, it felt like I was going quite fast. I'll take you out here, guys. door's still working, by the way. And I said to you, didn't I, in that other video, if anyone really watches this forensic unplugged thing, I said I'd sort these other doors out. All sorted, look at that. This mechanism was all seized. I know how these doors work now. I understand them. I had to get replacement deadlock. The top latches which going on this one was seized as well, and sort of, so I had to get some more parts for this one. The other one over there I fixed as well. So I'm in the good books. Things are going good. And let me just show you through here. Got some tests on the go. Well, not really, but down here I went with a K7. It's probably going to be very dark in here, isn't it? I'm just finishing off a video, on just how you should wash your car on the channel. How you should wash the car, which is something I don't think I've ever covered. Don't think I've ever covered that subject matter, so I'm going to be trying to cover that, and it's nothing too clever. The more I do the video now, the more I sort of realise people don't really need to be told how to wash their car, do they? So you've got to be just kind of, you know, quite informal with it, rather than kind of preaching, you must do this, you must do that. So it's going to be, hopefully be quite informal, and just, this is what I tend to do to wash my car. Car's back from the track. You can see, look at this. It is absolutely plastered in crap. The brakes don't feel quite the same after that day yesterday. It was such good fun though down there, guys. Really enjoyed it. I'm thinking of maybe buying a cheap track slag, if you like. I'm just looking at some cars that I can get for maybe one or two grand, that I can just take down the track and just hammer around it. Because if I keep hammering this car like that, I'm going to end up killing myself. And you know, or wiping the car out more likely, which isn't a good idea, is it? I don't want. I like this car, but if you put it around a track all the time, you're really gonna mess it up. It's going to take a lot of wear and tear. You could argue it can take it, but anyway, I don't know. I think about it. I'm just shortlisting a few cars that I'm looking at. Maybe things like a Renault Megane Sport, is it Club Sport or Renault Sport? The sort of 06, 050 plate one. I don't know the exact model of it. About 200 brake horse, I think. Or maybe a Clio Sport, you know, 172 or 182. You know, Clio Renault Sport things with the little exhaust in the middle. You can pick those up for 1 or 2 grand. Maybe an MX-5, Honda Civic Type R, you know, the old one with the gearbox up here mounted into the dashboard, the Vanos, you know, rev the bollocks off of them, something like that. But they're a bit more expensive. You know, I want something very cheap. Maybe even a BMW, like Reg has got the 330 Ci. Isn't a bad way to go, although they're going to be kicking on a little bit. And more likely a decent one, lower mileage, is probably going to be closer to about 3 grand. So I don't know, there's no easy way of doing this. I'm just thinking about it anyway, guys. What else is coming up on the channel? Yeah, I'll probably do a video on how to get all these bugs off the front of the car without doing too much damage. Okay, what's going on with this bloody GoPro? It's rubbish, this thing. Don't know if you can see, it's absolutely plastered in bugs. Look at it. There's nothing too clever to getting bugs off of a car, is there? In fact, the best tool for doing it is this Detail Factory brush. Anything, no product. You want to soak them out first, blast them down, don't you, with a pressure washer. You can use a dedicated bug product if you like. A lot of people will use mineral spirits afterwards, something like that. You can wipe over. The thing I'm conscious of is wiping them with anything which pins them to the paintwork that you then wipe them with, because then you're just rubbing bits of sharp, gritty bug sort of exoskeleton or whatever it is all over your paint. So I don't know, just soak and blast as much off as you can. Then I would use a Detail Factory brush. What else is going on, guys? Turtle Wax got a new product, Sealant hydrophobic wax. Interested? There's a lot of products that have been out in America, like turtle wax, ice spray wax, which are going to last quite well. They've been doing quite well, but they're not going to be coming over here. You're not going to get the ice products in the UK. This Sealant hydrophobic wax, I think, is the equivalent of the ice sealant wax or something like that. So it's the equivalent of one of them. The ice spray wax, though, is not coming to the UK. So that's all we're going to get. We'll be having a look at that. What else are we going to be having a look at? That, I think, is it, guys. This is just a touch base thing. Okay, guys. So I'm just going to make the rest of these kebabs up. What else is going on, guys? Well, you may have heard me whinging. You know, I'm getting old, so I like a good whinge. What's causing me grief at the moment on the channel? Not much, actually. Before Christmas, I had to make some changes. I had to shut down or remove the ability to be messaged on the Facebook page, and you guys helped me. You know, gave me some good advice on that, or sensible advice, and I did it. You know, and it helped. But since then, the messages are now just being bypassed and people are finding the email address, and I'm getting more emails than I was messages. And I always feel you should never just ignore any email that's sent to you, because that's rude. And if I send emails to people and they don't reply, I always find that rude. So I try and reply to them. But again, it's the overhead of replying to all of these inquiries. And you don't just want to just say no, do you? Like, no, thank you, thanks for the inquiry, but I'm not interested. You always try and put a little bit more in than that. So I don't know. The problem is as well, since shutting the messaging thing down on the Facebook page, that was how a lot of people would ask me questions about detailing through the Facebook page, and because that's gone, those questions are also coming through now as emails. So there's a lot more emails coming in, you know, with how to, you know, most of them are around polishing questions nowadays. You know, I want to polish my car for the first time, and it's stuff like that. And again, you've got to reply to people. You can't just ignore people. But 99% of the emails are questions that are answered completely in the videos. You know, the most common thing is, I'm polishing my car for the first time. What polish do you recommend? And what pad do you recommend? Or what machine do you recommend? And how do I go about doing it? How do I go about polishing it? What's the technique? And you've got to reply back to people to tell them to go and watch the video. You can't reply on a one-to-one basis to everyone that asks. You know, that's why you do the videos. So again, it sounds like I'm having a good old whinge. These are part of the problems of doing YouTube, and they're not problems, are they? You can sort of see a lot of channels, and I'm not bitching here, but they will not even bother reading or replying to comments or replying to emails or inquiries unless there's something in it for them, because it's just, all you're doing is spending tons of time helping other people, responding to other people and questions that, it's going to sound really cold, guys, but it's of no benefit to me, is it, to sit there spending an hour of my time a day trying to tell people how to machine polish a car when I've done videos on it. And it sounds really mean, but when you've been doing it for a few years, your perspective changes on that, and you'll only sit there replying to people one-on-one. Well, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that, for so long. And literally after a couple of years, you'll just say to people, yeah, have a look at this video, or you won't reply to people because you just can't. Forensics Detailing, this is not the biggest channel on YouTube, is it? You know, you've got channels out there that are doing millions of views, which is awesome. But we're getting close to doing 500,000 views a month. And 500,000 views a month isn't bad, guys, for what we're doing. And that generates quite a lot of people wanting to ask you stuff, which is awesome. don't get me wrong, I'm whinging, but I'm also really pleased with how the channel's going at the moment. It's bigger than it deserves to be, that's for sure. There's things I don't like about doing YouTube. I don't like some of the changes that YouTube have made recently. You saw me whinging, a post the other day whinging about, what was I whinging about? I was whinging about the fact that most people on YouTube that are starting up now, you're getting a lot of professional YouTubers spotting what's going on with the detailing thing, because everyone's into cars. And these professional YouTubers, they are very clever. You know, they know YouTube inside and out, and they can identify probably within about half an hour of researching. And when I say researching, that is going through all of the channels on YouTube that have been around for a while and just looking at all of their videos that have done well, and they'll just do it with a bit of paper. They'll make a note of all of those videos, and then they'll start knocking out their versions of those videos, just knocking them out one by one and just seeing what happens. And they'll work their way through the list, and on one of them they'll do it and get a bite, you know, and then another one they might do it and get the viral hit, and as soon as they get the viral hit, then they'll just, right, found it. It's like digging for gold. Then they will keep repeating that same video forever until the viral well runs dry, and then they'll carry on moving down their list of videos that they've nabbed from other channels. And you won't have a clue what I'm talking about, guys, but if you do YouTube, you can spot it very easily. My channel has had its content ripped by a lot of channels. I don't moan about it. It's part of YouTube. I get ideas from other channels, but I never try and copy videos and stuff like that. I try and keep it reasonably original. But like I say, I'm spotting a lot of professional YouTubers moving in to this particular scene now, and they'll just move in, do a few videos, and they might leave it at that. But what they'll keep doing is, if they find something, they'll keep going till that well runs out. And if detailing is a good well to dig from, they'll keep digging and drawing the oil from it till that oil runs out. Again, very hard to explain unless you're a YouTuber. Yeah, so yeah, that's a not very nice thing. One of the things that I think, if you're going to do YouTube, is I think you should be prepared to do content, whatever content you want to do around detailing that you find interesting, and be prepared to fail when you do that content, and be prepared to try different things and build your own list of what you think would make interesting content. Do it, keep doing it, trying different videos, trying different things, failing. Oh, that one's not too bad. Failing. And eventually you'll have a couple of hits. And there's very few YouTubers that are doing that. And I'm learning more about who does what, and I realise that all of the YouTube channels that do good views, they're all at it. They are all very good at keeping their ears to the ground, seeing what everyone else is doing. If something goes massive, they all jump in and do it, which is, yeah, a bit disappointing. But you know, I was sort of talking about it in the video. I'm just, at the moment, I'm doing my own thing. But I'm seeing how these other channels kind of roll, and I just think, I can see what they're up to now. I can see exactly what they're doing. And it's quite lucrative working that way, because your chances of getting viral viewed content are just going to go through the roof. And the content doesn't even have to be good. It just has to stand out from the crowd with the thumbnail and the bullshit title. That's what it's all about. And I'm thinking, well, is it worth me doing like a video which I might work on for 6 months, and some of them I have worked on for 6 months, when I know I can shoot up the GoPro, do the right title, the right hook, and I can make that video that I invest about 2 minutes of my time in do more views than the one that I've spent 6 months on. And that, Jesus, I tell you, that would drive you mad if you're a YouTuber. It's not a high quality platform. It's all because of this stupid algorithms that YouTube put in place around clickability. So it's almost become like a kind of trashy news headline thing on YouTube. And you see it, don't you? When you go to YouTube, you'll see them all of the things that are being thrown up in your list to watch, they're all competing for your attention. They're all trying to be the most dramatic. So for any channel that doesn't want to be dramatic, wants to spend quite a lot of time doing content and not hamming it up, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. That's the big dilemma for me. So I need to get on board with it. You know, I literally do. I literally need to say, fuck it, I'm just going to do what everyone else is doing, because that will work. The thing is, if I carry on doing what I'm doing, it will do okay. It will do okay. So there we go. Anyway, you've probably got no idea what I'm talking about, guys. Well, maybe you have. I don't know. I don't know what this comes across like when I'm doing the GoPro stuff. Anyway, I was doing this video to show you how I'm surviving on my own without the missus. Back to Neanderthal mode. My eyes have been shagged. I think it's hay fever. But things are going good. Take care. I will see you soon. I'm spending the day editing today. I have to finish off that video on washing cars. And it's going to take me probably about 10 hours to edit that. So there we go. Okay. Thanks very much, guys. Speak to you later. Bye now.